Saturday and Sunday action. Of course, my name is Juven Salvanathan. Sitting next to me in the commentary box is Ross Yusof. We've been watching qualifying in the morning, and we've been watching the race ones for each of the classes of race that make up the Superbike Championship on this track, the 5.542 kilometer full circuit at Sepang, 15 corners, an FIA grade 1 circuit, and it is world renowned. Everybody wants to race here, and for these guys at the Superbike Championship, they get to do it on 2 wheels.
Yes, they do. 17 riders coming up in this Superstock category. Don't know if you've stayed with us throughout the day, but earlier on in qualifying, it was a funny story in qualifying.
Funny story, you should say that. And I think I'm really glad that Ross has brought that up, because Superstock was probably the most affected class. What has happened today, and you can check this, of course, as it's all archived on the Facebook page. Not that I'd like to, but what I'm saying is that we've had intermittent rain throughout the day, and once early in the morning, once at about 11 o'clock, and that by having a light shower in the morning and a heavy shower at 11 o'clock, it left a lot of moisture on the track, and the most affected class was Superstock. In fact, Nasruddin Mat Yusof, who's on pole right now, Razali bin Masood, who's in second, Azroy Hakim, who's in third, all three of them managed to benefit from a qualifying session that was literally half dry, half wet. And that you can't plan that stuff. Yeah. In fact, to be honest, Hollywood couldn't even write that stuff.
So those three did their laps under dry conditions.
And ended up with a 2:27, for example.
And you can understand how the others were a lot slower in the wet.
In fact, Nasruddin Mat Yusof actually, in the end, put in, well, 2:32 was one of the last dry laps that we had. And then after that, it was down to, in fact, 2:32, I think, was at the end of the session. He managed to pull back a little bit, but you couldn't break 2:30 for sure. And Nasruddin Mat Yusof literally had to not come out again when it did rain, because the rain essentially ensured him pole position. Now, the story behind Nasruddin's season so far,
we are still here.
We'll get to in a second.
International circuit for the Malaysian Superbike Championships, and this is the Superstock series. And currently, right now, I'm with rider number 5, which is Azroy. Betul ya, Azroy ya? Apa khabar Azroy? Sihat? Okey, Azroy, nak tanya soalan sikit ya. Okey, apakah strategi bagi Azroy untuk perlombaan Superstock ni?
Seperti biasa, saya akan cuba melakukan start yang baik seperti mana saya lakukan di round 1. And of course, saya mau cuba clock fastest time lebih baik lagi. So, saya harap saya dapat consistent podium untuk round ni.
Okay, good. What is your target for this race? Apakah target anda?
Like always, I want be in first podium. Yes.
Okay, siapa bagi Azroy challenger untuk Azroy dalam perlombaan ni? Ataupun saingan you rasa yang akan bagi saingan sengit dalam perlombaan ni?
Saingan saya rasa pelumba daripada pasukan BMW, iaitu Afiq Azmi. Dia juga bekas pelumba Moto3. Saya harap saya dapat beri saingan yang terbaik, dan menang untuk perlombaan kali ini.
Okey, adakah apa-apa pesanan daripada Azroy untuk para peminat yang sedang menonton secara live sekarang ni di Facebook dan juga YouTube?
Hai kepada semua peminat saya, jangan lupa saksikan race ni. Jangan tidur dan sila lihat untuk race esok juga. Support saya.
All the best, Azroy. So there you have it, rider number 5, Azroy Hakim from the Fast Throttle Motorsport team for the Superstock series. Okay, we're going to head over to the next rider. That's number 34, Razali Masood from. Okay, let's see. Okay, we are with rider number 34, Razali Masood. Okay, Razali, apa khabar? Alhamdulillah ya. Okay, apakah target bagi Razali dalam perlombaan ni?
Target saya untuk cuba yang terbaik untuk hari ini. Itu saja.
Strategi macam mana?
Just carry on riding, enjoy my ride.
That's good. So who do you think is your main challenger here in this Superstocks race?
We have at least 6 riders who are fast today. I think one of them is Azroy Hakim and Amirul Hafiq.
Okay, do you have anything to say for your fans who is watching live right now on Facebook and also YouTube?
Thank you. Sorry?
You want to say something to your fans who is watching live right now on Facebook or YouTube?
Okay, I would like to thank to my teams, my family that has been with me all around together. Thank you very much.
All right, all the best, Razali. All the best to you, and have a good race. So there you have it, that Superstock for the Malaysian Superbike Championship right here in Sepang International Circuit.
Well, great to hear from the riders on the grid, and really promoting that familial aspect, and a lot of support. And it's good to hear from them as to what they're thinking about just seconds before they get to action in Superstock. And so, as we were just saying beforehand,
we should point out that a lot of these riders aren't used to being interviewed directly before race time.
No, absolutely not. But then again, of course, a lot of these riders have never got to see themselves race in this championship. It's only been the second year that this live stream has been going out. And actually, on that note, to everybody that is watching right now, just a thanks from me and Ross and everybody here at the live stream broadcasting for the hundreds of thousands of people that have actually watched these races over the last 2 years.
And thanks for all your messages as
well.
Yeah.
It's a fully interactive medium, so if you're watching on the Facebook page, by all means, let us know how you're thinking, and we can tell you the rest of the season as well. September is going to be round 3, I think the 14th and 15th, if I'm right, and then October 4th and 5th will be the double header 100-point haul, you should say, for at the close of the Malaysia Superbike Championship. And after that, of course, in November, early November, MotoGP time. So get your tickets right now. If you want to find out more about tickets about MotoGP, then www.sepangcircuit.com, all the events that are happening up at this wonderful circuit in Malaysia that has almost become, I think we can add the word iconic to it, because
that's a great word.
Yeah, it is. It's amazing. And not only is it seen this championship, believe it or not, the Malaysia Superbike Championship has actually been in action now for about 16 years. It's only recently been revamped. It was before under the Malaysian Super Series. So this is one of the longest standing championships over the 20-odd years that this track has been set up. And these guys, of course, have now a live stream that they can, punch, as you can see that, but also, review their riding style. They can watch these things again, and it's all come together because of the digital age. Now, we're just minutes away from the Superstock. As we said earlier, this class was affected in qualifying, and that is going to knock on to this grid. The first 3 runners. I was just actually, before we crossed over to the grid, going to tell you about Nasruddin Mat Yusoff's season. Up to this point, he hasn't got any poles this season, and free practice up to this weekend was actually very troublesome for him. He didn't manage to put a time in for free practice, so he was, because of that, wanting to get his bike out very quickly in qualifying, and just happened to across the only dry laps of the session. That gave him a 2:27, and he's now on pole. Whether he can keep that, well, he's going to need to. He's currently on 23 points for the season, 4th in the championship. Azroy Hakim, that we heard from on the grid, he's up front with a double win, so he's going to be looking for 3 wins in a row. It was actually a clean sweep of wins across the board on all classes at round 1. So you had Surya Narayana with a double win. You had Kashma with a double win. You had, that was of course when he was in there, and you had Azroy Hakim coming in with a double win as well, and of course Aslan Shah is the other big winner.
So this is our penultimate race
for the evening,
for this Saturday. Full day of racing tomorrow, starting at 10 in the morning.
Here's the grid: Nasruddin Mat Yusoff, Razali Masood, and Azroy Hakim, 1, 2, and 3.
Second row, Ahmad Khan, Muhammad Shazwan, and Sharul Nizam Ramli.
Ban Ki-moon, Abdul Aziz Al-Ikram, Mohammad Radzi Omar from 7th to 9th.
Fourth row, Hamizan Afiq, Amirul Hafiq Azmi, and Sarul Fahmi.
In the 5th row, Shazrin Shafi, Mohammed Kairullah, and Mohammed Nadzir Mizdi.
Row 6, Azwan Malik and Mohammad Kudir Farizullah.
I see what you mean about a 17-bike grid. I was expecting a lot more there, but there's a reduced field, I suppose, for these Superstock and Superbike races. A bit smaller. That doesn't mean we're going to lose out in quality in any way. I'm expecting a pretty big fight between Azroy Hakim, Ahmad Khan, and Razali bin Masood. That's 2nd to 4th on the grid. But of course, Hamzan Hafiq Azmi as well from the TOC HKM racing team. They are in with a shot. Of course, Hafiq Azmi is starting from 11th on the grid, so might be a bit tough for him. But those are definitely going to be the big names here. And of course, Nasruddin Matyusov, well, what can he do with a pole? He's on a BMW S1000, and it's got the power for certain.
Interesting to see if he can get his first win.
Well, that BMW S1000 was also, of course, ridden by Amirul Hafiq Azmi, his teammate, who actually was at the top of free practice. So theoretically, had it been a dry qualifying, we probably would have expected to see Hafiq Azmi, because he came out really late, and that's why he's starting in the 11th. So maybe a big run from Hafiq Azmi, and just generally those two BMWs, one on pole and one in the 11th. Maybe you would have thought that's different. Now it's a very shy fan in the paddock. She's bound to enjoy the race, though.
Well, it's been great racing.
It has been all day.
And another full day of racing ahead of us tomorrow, starting at 10.
I think we should probably clarify that it's been a great day of racing, despite the conditional change throughout the day.
Conditional change,
I think, well, I mean, example, as I said, Hafiq Azmi in this probably shouldn't be starting in the 11th, but I mean, it makes for better racing, I guess. But he was the fastest in free practice with a 2:15.253, and it just seems a bit odd that because of a rain shower, he's now down 11th. But that, unfortunately, is the rules that apply to everyone. So I wonder if we're going to see him. Now, that is... He's on the 6th row of the grid. That could mean that he could make a jump through. We saw Ismail Shmaili come up from 23rd to 6th in the super sport category.
Well, what is certain is
that he can go around this track in 2:15.253, as it was proved in free practice.
And he does need a very good start, Hafiq Azmi.
Yeah, he does. Absolutely. He's currently in 11th in the standings with just an 11-point finish. 5th in race 1 of round 1. Azroy Hakim and Radzi Omar are two of the... I can't believe I didn't mention Radzi Omar in that list of riders.
He's 9th, Radzi
Yeah,
Omar.
well, again, a rider you'd expect to be in the top, so you don't expect to see him in 9th, 11th. So 9th, 10th, and 11th, 3 riders that probably are out of position on the grid as we get ready now. Red lights are off, and it's a start. Well, not the best of start there from Azroy Hakim. Looked like he jumped a wheel, but he seems to have found his form now. That red bike out the front. Azroy Hakim on an absolutely bone-dry track now. It's been direct sun and absolutely no rain for about a good few hours, so definitely dried.
Very good start from Azroy Hakim.
Brilliant start from Azroy Hakim, and that's exactly what we're talking about. Now, we have to just check on the 80 bike, Hafiq Azmi, see where he is in this. Of course, we'll get all the standings from the transponders as soon as they get past lap 1. Now it's all about visual scanning.
Radzi Omar's in 2nd, it looks like.
Yeah, Radzi Omar looks like he's had a great start. Now, with these bigger bikes and bigger chassis around them, of course, a lot less racing lines to pick from when you are darting around a straight line, so you do really
harder
want
to throw around the corner.
It's just a lot heavier. It's not like the 250 bikes we saw earlier, so you're going to have to really get set up for any moves around here. But look at that from Azroy Hakim. He's already building up, and Radzi Omar in 2nd. So, Nasruddin Matyusov on pole. Couldn't keep it. That's what we were talking about. Maybe the rain skewed qualifying enough that it's just spurred on some of those riders into thinking, right, I'm going to have to race this race from an unfamiliar position on the grid. Well, here's a pack of 3. That, in fact, looks like Radzi Omar on who's just lost position. And that looks like Ahmad Khan and Mohammad Shazwan. They've actually gone past him. So right now, even our timing screens are saying Razali bin Masood is up front, Azroy Hakim is in 2nd, and I think that's all going to change now because of some lightning starts from a few people Coming into turn 15, all will be revealed in about 15 seconds.
Yep, just coming up to complete their first lap, and somebody's come right off there. And that is 84.
That's Abdul Aziz Al Ikram. So it is confirmed. Azroy Hakim up front. Amirul Hafiq Azmi is in second. Ahmad Khan is in third. So Radzi Omar did in fact lose that second spot. Just some good work from Hafiq Azmi, who has come up from 11th spot and is in second. So he did get that fantastic start, and he's been putting in a blinding lap. He's the fastest man on the track right now with a 2:16.005. Unlucky for Abdul Aziz Al Ikram on that final turn 15, but wonderful start from Hafiq Azmi, wonderful start from Azroy Hakim, and all of a sudden, regardless of their grid position, the two fastest people on the track have found their position at the front of the grid with 1 lap down. So it's all open, 11 laps left.
Hafiq Azmi is putting in a very fast second lap as well.
He's going to make sure, or try to make sure, that Azroy Hakim doesn't get away. That Fast Throttle Motorsports bike has a knack, that Honda CBR again. It's been a day for Honda CBRs today. In no small measure down to the SCK Rapido team. Fantastic stuff from them. So, Azroy Hakim up front, 2 seconds ahead of Hafiq Azmi, 2 seconds ahead of Ahmad Khan.
That was a major wobble there.
Now, I'd like to know the line that Hafiq Azmi took to start from 11th on the grid and just jumped straight up to second. Easier to find these little nooks and crannies to sneak through when you're on 2 wheels. If you're on 4, there's Radzi Omar at the front of that pack. That's got to be Shazwan behind him. Yep, Rosali bin Masood behind him. Sharul Nizam Ramli.
It's the battle for 4th.
Radzi looks like he is winning that battle quite cleanly. Up at the front, he's put up at least a second now, but he's still got a lot of pressure from Shazwan and Sharul Nizam.
Hafiq Azmi is putting in a very, very good race.
2:12 from both Azroy Hakim and Amirul Hafiq Azmi. That's amazing.
They're a good 3 seconds faster than your third place man, Ahmad Khan.
Well, I think they're going to break off now and just have their own separate battle for the next 10 laps. But I think it's definitely a case of Hafiq Azmi is trying to match Azroy Hakim's fastest lap per lap. That is, of course, the best way and option to keep up with anyone that you're trying to pass. Just keep pushing yourself. Once again, 2nd to 4th November, Malaysian MotoGP. Malaysian riders riding in it.
Don't leave it too late to buy your tickets.
Yeah, before you know it, November's going to be upon you. So get onto the website, www.sepangcircuit.com. Now, looking at those lap times, it's still Hafiq Azmi. 2:12.673 is the fastest lap we've seen. 0.02 of a second faster than Azroy Hakim and 1.7 seconds behind. All the makings of a great battle.
This is your 4 behind the front 3 of Azroy Hakim, Hafiq Azmi and Ahmad Khan. And Radzi Omar is leading this pack of 4.
Another great ride from Ahmad Khan. Radzi Omar, Mohamed Shazwan and Sharul Nizam Ramli having a great tussle from 4th to 6th. There they are.
Rosali bin Masood is just hanging in there as well.
That's the gold and orange bike at the back of the quartet. So Azroy is now 4 seconds ahead of Amirul Hafiq Azmi, so not so much of a battle happening up front anymore. Amirul is 5 seconds ahead of Ahmad Khan, and Ahmad Khan is 5 seconds ahead of this battle. So things really stretching up out at the front, mainly because Hafik Azmi is now putting in a 2:15 lap and not a 2:12 anymore. In fact, that directly correlates to the 4 seconds he's behind. So maybe taking it a bit easy, Hafik Azmi. Happy that he got up from 11th into 2nd, put that qualifying behind him. Oh, well, there is somebody that's not going to be taking part in this race anymore. Isn't it ironic, Ross, that every time this happens, they never are facing that way? I know it's a very tiny thing to say, but it would help us as commentators. We're just going to have to get confirmation on who that bike is.
And these bikes are so heavy.
Yep, you need at least 3 people for that. There you go, there's the third. I'd be impressed. Yeah, I think you're gonna need a bit more than that. There you go. That's what a 1000cc bike looks like being lifted up.
Still with this battle for 4th.
3 laps in now, 9 to go. Another way would be saying that would be this is lap 4. So on the back straight, looking quite delightful in the evening.
Now Azroy
late
Hakim
afternoon
up front has not slowed down at all. He's getting faster.
Wow, 2:11 now. He's broken 2:12.
The 2nd place.
So that was that big shunt that we saw. And it looks like, well, that's not Aziz Al Ikram. We already saw him off. I think it's Hamizan Afik.
Yeah. Could be right. Of the Moto SP Revenol racing team.
I think I'm absolutely sure you can tell by the way he has not crossed the finish line yet that he is most probably so.
So Sharul Nizam is now in 4th ahead of Radzi Omar. This pack here, closely followed by Mohammad Shazwan and Razali bin Masood. That's your 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th.
Well, there's actually 2 bikes that are currently AWOL. Mohammed Hamizan Afik and Mohammed Nazir Misti. They were in 12th and 13th. And I wonder if there was a bit of contact there. It looks a bit strange that they were right next to each other. They're both missing from our timing computers right now.
Azroy Hakim is on his 4th lap, lapping very fast. 2:11.990 his last lap. Azroy Hakim from the Fast Throttle Motorsports team. He's the race leader for now. Good 6 seconds ahead of Hafik Azmi.
Laps to go now. That is that fight for 4th. Radzi Omar looks like he's up at the front of it. No, in fact, that is 5th, 6th and 7th now, because that's Razali bin Masood at the back. So that's Mohamed Shazwan in the middle, and that's Radzi Omar up front. So really, Radzi has dropped down to 5th and is now in a new battle because he's not fighting with Sharul Nizam and Ahmad Khan anymore.
Well, big news is that Azroy Hakim has slowed down 1 second. He lapped at 2:12 last time.
That is pretty big news, actually.
He's trying to make that up right now on his 6th lap.
Now let's just put that into context. He's already 11 seconds ahead, so I'm thinking that, yeah, 95% it. Make sure you get this one in the bag, make it your 3rd straight win. If I was in his position, that's what I'd do. Amirul Hafiq, Azmi, Ahmad Khan, Charul Nizam Ramli in second, third and fourth. All of them between 11 and 20 seconds behind Azroy Hakim.
You're watching the race for 5th position. Bike 90 is in 5th, Razi Omar, followed by Razali bin Masood in the gold trim bike.
Now, what's interesting from this battle is the fact that Razi Omar is actually second in the championship right now. He's 14 points behind Azroy Hakim, so while Azroy should be picking up 25 points for a third consecutive time, Razi Omar is going to be picking up a lot less. Now, Adib Ali is not racing this weekend, most probably racing in a different championship, so funnily enough, that means Nasruddin Mat Yusuf
well,
would have loved to have.
Razi Omar's just been passed by Razali bin Masood as well, so Razali's up to 5th now.
Nasruddin Mat Yusuf in 8th at the moment.
Here is our race leader, Azroy Hakim, riding his own race.
What a great start he had. Little jump start wheelie. It wasn't a jump start, of course he would have been penalized for that, but it was a little bit of a wheelie, but managed to get enough speed up, cleanly take turn 1 under no pressure at all.
And he's got clear track ahead of him.
Absolutely, that's turn 3.
No traffic bunching up behind him.
That's turn 4. He's a full 2 corners ahead of everybody else. There are a couple of big battles happening. Charul Nizam Ramli is currently at it with Razali bin Masood for 4th and 5th. And then there's this fight that we were watching, which is Razi Omar, Ahmed Shazwan, and Razali bin Masood. Now, that's one of the TOC BMWs. The all-new TOC HKM racing team.
Yeah, that's Hafiq Azmi currently in 2nd position.
TOC Automotive College.
He too is out on his own at the moment.
Yep, definitely has
clear track in front of him.
Good space.
Yeah, and he's got a good
well, all 3 of
second lap.
Yeah, the top
gap.
3. So you've got Azroy Hakim, 14 seconds. Amirul Hafiq Azmi, 8 seconds. Ahmad Khan. Those are your top 3. And of course, don't forget that Ahmad Khan is also topping the rookies class. So it's a really fantastic ride from him. But not the first time we've seen that this year.
No.
Strong in qualifying, strong in practice, and strong in round 1 as well. And unsurprisingly, because of that consistency, topping the rookies championship standing. So this is only going to do him benefit if he should finish 25 points, topping the rookies class. Now that looks like Shazwan. Yes, it is. No, it isn't. That's Charul Nizam.
That's Charul Nizam taking 3rd from Ahmad Khan.
Wow, that is, and this is it. It's going to be on the line now. He's done it. Well, how about that for a battle coming into turn 1? There's absolutely nothing between them. There's 100th of a second. And I fear that that lead might be traded again if he can keep it there. And Ahmad isn't really going to worry about that too much. Any high points finish is going to be good for him.
Yep, he's the leading rookie. Mohammad Shazwan in 6th is the next best rookie.
The only person he's got to really worry about in terms of championship is Pan Kim Moon. And Pan Kim Moon is currently in 3rd. They're all tied on 36. Ahmad Khan, Noamidin Abu Hassan, who isn't here this weekend, but from NKL Boy Motorsport, and Pan Kim Moon, all on 36 points.
Nice.
In fact, I can't stop there. Mohamed Nazir Mitzdi, who isn't going to finish this race because he's missing at the moment, is also tied on 36. And believe it or not, different configurations to get 36 points. So Ahmad Khan's the only one. Ahmad Khan and Nazir Mitzdi had 2 wins. So everybody else has been racking up 2nds and 3rds and 4ths. They all on 36 points for now.
This is the intriguing battle for third position. Charul Nizam Ramli leading from the green bike of Ahmad Khan. Up ahead of them, Hafiq Azmi and Azroy Hakim.
Azroy is now 19.4 seconds ahead in the lead.
5 laps to go. Little wheelie there from Ahmad Khan.
That seems to be one of the hallmarks of the day. We've seen a good few wheelies, whether it's celebration or not. A bit of a drift in there from Ahmad Khan. Doesn't trouble Charul Nizam, who's now safely in third and is going to come through this with at least a second gap. No, he's not. I stand corrected because
wow,
it's a wonderful move from Ahmad Khan. He's not going to come through in third. Ahmad Khan has retaken third. And nicely as well. Yeah, the straight line speed of that Kawasaki ZX-10. We've seen a lot of Kawasaki straight line speed today.
Flying the flag for the FTA Liquid Moly Racing team.
That's Mohamed Khairullah and Sarul Fahmy, 12th and 13th. Both rookies, and currently in 4th and 5th in the rookies class, actually. So, podium for them if they can keep it up. They are actually the last 2 riders, what with Hamizan Afik, Nazir Mizdi, and Aziz Al-Ikram all... Well, Aziz Al-Ikram we know for a fact is DNF, but Hamizan Afik we suspect was the yellow bike we saw at turn 1. Nazir Mizdi is missing. We haven't seen anything, but has only completed 3 laps. Been missing since then. Nazir Mizdi 4th in the championship, so that's one person that's definitely going to be stuck on 36 points moving into race 2. Ahmad Khan has now moved up into the 16-point barrier. That's going to really help him. Well, that's overall, of course, but he's leading the rookies class. That's 425 for him.
He's got third back from Charul Nizam Ramli. This is a great ride from this young rookie, Ahmad Khan.
Well, that's a double really coming out of turn 14. Heavy braking, likes to kind of drift his way through corners, but keeps a lot of speed by doing that. That for a heavy hairpin like that. Well, you can just see the difference in lap times from having slicks and wets. We've really seen everything today.
That's your race leader, Azroy Hakim, just gone by in his red bike. He's just lapped the back marker, Sarul Fahmy, Mohamed Khairullah. This is the 6th best rookie at the moment.
Azroy Hakim now 25 seconds ahead of Hafiq Azmi. Still 8 seconds ahead of Ahmad Khan.
There is Azroy Hakim.
Absolutely no problems at all. Brilliant start, ruling it from start to finish, which is essentially what he did for both of the opening races for round 1.
Total domination. If he carries on like that, he could well be moving up a class.
Well, exactly. Not ideal when you think of the struggles that we've seen with some of the other people that have moved up classes, but that is, yep, the name of the game when it comes down to it. You want to get onto bigger and better bikes.
Steady ride from our leader for 9 laps so far. Faultless.
Well, this is about to be his 10th lap. It'll be 2 after this. Yeah, pretty much flawless, has to be said. Faultless, flawless, both apply. And it must feel so good to go into turn 1 and be able to take your foot off the pedal, get through it perfectly, because it's corners like this chicane to kick off the circuit that really do become troublesome at speed.
Afik Azmi in second place is a good 28 seconds behind. That's how much of a gap. Amazing.
It is. Amazing when you think about it. Now, that's Mohamed Shazwan in the middle of that pack, and that's Nasruddin Mat-Yusuf, our pole winner. Whether lucky or not, he is ahead of that pack. Razali bin Masood also in that pack. And he maintains his 5th spot. Nasruddin Mat-Yusuf is in 6th. Radziomar is up to 7th, which is odd to say because he was at one point in 5th. He's fighting back and forth between 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th.
Well, he's just taken 6th from Nasruddin Mat-Yusuf. Razali bin Masood there in the gold and red bike.
Only 5th, and that's Radziomar in 7th. Well, he looks like he's moved up to 6th now. In fact, I think Radziomar has definitely moved up to 6th. Yep, that's Nasruddin Mat-Yusuf behind him on the BMW.
So he's in the points, Radziomar.
And that's Shazwan behind them, and it looks like, well, yeah, Azwan Malik right at the back of that that's joined this battle. That is indeed Azwan Malik that has brought his ticket and has decided to join the party. There's Azroy Hakim now starting his last lap. Points in the bag and making it easy while he does it, or making it look easy while he does it.
Slowing down now, Azroy Hakim. 2:13 was his last lap. But when you have a 29.347 second lead over the next best placed guy.
Exactly. Half a minute ahead of everybody else, why not? Don't exactly put it into first gear, but certainly watch yourself going around these corners. This battle looks like it's going to go right down to the wire. Zarul Fahmy, Shazmin Shafi. '11th and 12th, that should be. And that's our leader again. Coming round turn 13. 2 more corners to go for Azroy Hakim. Nice and easy through 14, and he's already started the wheelies.
And why not?
He's got 30 seconds on everybody else. I've never seen anyone stop the bike for 10 seconds and then try and make it a close one. That's a very, very risky thing to do. Bike might not start for one. But anyway, here he is with the checkered flag. And the wheelie, as I said, wheelies are the name of the day, basically the hallmark of the day. 25 points in a 3rd straight win for Azroy Hakim.
Led from start to finish. Well done, Azroy Hakim.
Absolutely no problems encountered. Now look at this massive clutch of bikes coming through turn 15. I wonder if right at the end they've shifted positions.
Afik Azmi should be crossing the line now.
He has. Afik Azmi has. That's a good finish for TOC HKM.
in third, ahead of Shahrul Nizam Ramli. No, he's not. Yes,
Ahmad
he is.
Khan is, yep, third. And everyone's doing wheelies now.
Razali bin Masood is gonna pick up fifth, or is he? Radzi Omar is putting in a fight. It's Radzi Omar who gets fifth, Razali bin Masood gets sixth, Azwan Malik seventh, Nazaruddin Mat Yusuf in eighth, Muhammad Shazwan in ninth, Pang Kim Mun yet to come in.
Pang Kim Mun still waited on, of course, a lap down, so most probably have to finish that lap, and that's why. Well, here are the final results. Azroy Hakim with a wonderful ride and a third straight win. Hafiq Azmi in second, up from 11th on the grid. Don't forget Ahmad Khan topping the rookies class, third overall. Shahrul Nizam Ramli, Radzi Omar and Razali Masood up to sixth. Azwan Malik, Nazruddin Mat Yusuf with an eighth. Mohammed Shazwan and Shazrin Shafi, 9th and 10th.
In 11th, Muhammad Khairullah, Sarul Fahmi in 12th, Kadir Farzullah in 13th, Pang Kim Mun in 14th, Hamizan Afiq 15th, Nazir Misti 16th, and Aziz El Ikram 17th.
So we'll be hearing from some of the winners as they come in, I'm sure. Right now, it is about getting these bikes into Parc Fermé for scrutineering. And then, of course, we will have the podium for Superstock. Good race one from round two. And all set up for tomorrow's second race. And that's going to be at 12 o'clock tomorrow after Super Sport and Super 250. So essentially the same schedule will be followed tomorrow, except it'll all be kicking off at 10 in the morning. We're going to be here for that. Now these bikes are pouring into the paddock. You get scrutineered. And our crew down in Parc Fermé are going to be waiting for them. I'm just looking for them. Yep, you can just see that green bib there. Well, that's our camera crew waiting to interview the winners. Let's hear from them. We'll be back with the podium after this.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was the end of the Superstock series race right here in Sepang International Circuit, and I am with the winner. That's right, Azroy Hakim from the Fast Throttle Motorsports team. Well, congratulations, Azroy. So, how was the race?
The race was quite good for me. My bike also great, good job, and also my mechanic. In this race, I just push myself from beginning until last lap. So I already made my fastest lap time. So I'm very happy, and hope for tomorrow will be better.
Okay, I can see when during the start you were pushing yourself very fast to be in front. What was going through your mind at that time? What were you thinking?
I want to make a gap from second place because I know half as me behind me it's difficult for me to keep my pace. So I did I give my everything in the beginning, and I am very happy with today.
So are you happy with the strategy that you have decided with your team? Were you happy today?
Yes, of course, because I'm the winner today.
So what's your strategy for tomorrow?
I don't know. Maybe if rain, maybe I will be a little bit careful. But if condition like this, I will push myself like just now I did.
Anything you want to say? Anything you want to say to your fans that's watching and that were supporting you just now in the race?
Thank you for watching me in this race, Superstock. Hope for you to watching tomorrow also. Thank you.
All right, congratulations. Good race, good race. Anyway, there you have it. That was the winner of the Superstock series right here, the Malaysian Superbike Championship, right here live in Sepang International Circuit.
Well, that was great to hear from Azroy, and of course, also just looking forward to tomorrow's race and saying that if it is raining, then he's going to be a little bit more careful. Let's get back down now and hear from some of the other winners.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back right here at the pits where I'm with Syarul Nizam Ramli, right? He is from the FTA Liquid Moly Racing. Okay, Syarul Nizam, apa khabar? Sihat ya?
Alhamdulillah sihat.
Okay, bagaimana perasaan anda sekarang ni?
We're very tired and very good. Yeah.
So, what was your strategy during the race?
Actually, my strategy is become the other round already because I was supposed to launch, leading the pack, and then maintain. But then I have made some mistake on my starting. Then I start from the back so far. Yeah.
Right. So, what is your target for tomorrow?
My target on the podium, tomorrow is top 3, the podium again. Hopefully, can be the champion.
Is it going to be rain or shine for you?
Expected gonna be shine. Yes.
Okay, congratulations once again. Okay, see you tomorrow. So there you have it. That's the end of the Superstock, and coming up next is the Superbike Championship right here at Sepang International Circuit.
That's right, one race left. Let's have a look at the highlights from that Superstock race. I have a funny feeling there's going to be a lot of Azroy Hakim in there. Well, we start off with, some Azroy, and it has literally been the Azroy Hakim testimonial, this race, you could say.
fastest lap upon fastest lap. He did slow down. Should point out that his last lap was his slowest of them all, 2:17. But by then, as Jeevan pointed out, he had crafted out a 30.122 seconds.
Everything barring stopping the actual bike, essentially, would guarantee him the win after that. Now, of course, it did take a lot of focus after that just to make sure. Of course, you got to remember when you're up at the front, it is difficult to maintain your focus knowing you haven't got any pressure around. Sometimes if you're in a pack, it does help, but Azroy managed to hold that pressure this time. He made it through the last few corners. Rounded turn 15.
And a lot of the riders were pointing out that he was one to watch and he was very fast, and
yeah,
certainly proved it today.
3 wins in a row for him. Absolutely clean sweep of race wins so far in the 2018 season.
Undoubtedly
75 points.
Gunning for his 4th tomorrow.
Absolutely, and as we said, that's going to be round about 12 o'clock tomorrow. Now stay with us on the official live stream of the Sepang International Circuit. Podium is coming up right now. So,
in 5th place. Well, that's Radzi Omar in 4th.
That's Radzi Omar in 5th, it should be. Yep.
And the winner for category for Superstock Race 1 is bike number 5,
Azroy Hakim, Amrul Hafiq Azmi, Ahmad Khan, Shaul Nizam Ramli, and Mohammed Radzi Omar should be our top 5.
Now, Hafiq Azmi isn't there, and he's represented there
by a friend?
By a friend, I guess, because Hafiq Azmi is 3rd on the grid in the Superbikes coming up.
Ah, I see, right, yeah, that makes absolute sense. So he has a that's so great. He has a representative to pick up his awards.
How cool is that? If he won it, that would have been even cooler.
Well, what it means is that he's got another 12 laps turning up now on a different bike. Radzi Omar. Joseph Lee from Pirelli Asia giving out the prizes. Shaul Nizam in 3rd. Hafiq Azmi, well, the representative of in 2nd, and Azroy Hakim in 1st. Now, if you want to check those standings, let's get on to the get onto the official website, www.sepangcircuit.com. Well, looks like Hafiq Azmi's stand-in trophy replacement is actually a good photo taker as well.
Yeah, well, Hafiq did request for a photo.
Okay, winners, official photographer at the main grandstand first. Winners, official photographer at the main grandstand area behind the fence.
Wow, looks like the official photographer is only out of position, and he's there. You go. There's a few jumps. Probably makes up for the other 3 little jumps. I think they're going to be having a jump now, all too tired at the end of the day. Race 2 happening at 12 o'clock tomorrow. Bright sun, lunchtime. Very hot indeed.
So next up, we'll have the rookies. Ahmad Khan will be crowned winner of that category.
That's right.
In 5th place is number 85, Muhammad Khairullah. 4th place is number 21, Shazrin Shafini. 3rd place goes to number 47, Punky Moon. 2nd place is number 27, Muhammad Shazwan from the Garage MSBK Racing Team. And the winner of the category for race 1 is number 6, Ahmad Khan.
So Ahmad Khan, very happy and still at the top of the Rookies Championship standings.
Mashita Ibrahim handing out the 4th and 5th place to Muhammad Khairullah and to Shazrin Shafi.
And Joseph Lee from Pirelli Asia, again with the trophies from 3rd to 1st.
Punkin Mun in 3rd.
That's a good 16 points for Punkin Mun.
Muhammad Shazwan in 2nd. And the race winner, Ahmad Khan, who rode a very good race indeed.
Photographer is behind the fence at the main grandstand there, guys. Photographer. Thank you, presenters. Congratulations to all the winners. We'll see you guys again in race 2 tomorrow.
So that's your rookies